While you were asleep, news was happening. Start every morning, every day, 5 a.m. to 9 Eastern with Al Jazeera America.
In Washington state, agribusiness companies and food manufacturers are pouring millions of dollars into an effort to defeat what could become the country's first law requiring the labeling of genetically modified foods and seeds. Washington residents will vote on Initiative 522 on November 5th. But companies opposed to labeling are funding a more than $17 million effort to derail it. Monsanto donated nearly $5 million, and DuPont has given more than $3 million, while Pepsi, Coca-Cola, and Nestle have dedicated more than $1 million each. Labeling supporters have raised less than a third of their opponents. Their largest donor is Dr. Bronner's Magic Soaps. A recent New York Times poll found 93% of Americans want labels on food containing GMOs.
In other news,
President Obama this week signed into law a bill that could have huge consequences on the future of food in the country. The Agricultural Appropriations Bill has been dubbed the Monsanto Protection Act by critics of the agricultural giant. And that's because a provision in the law protects genetically modified seed patents from litigation over health risks. So if you get sick, too bad, you can't take it to court. Since being signed into law Tuesday, more than 250,000 people have signed a petition to President Obama. It says the law, quote, is unnecessary and an unprecedented attack on U.S. judicial review. Congress should not be meddling with the judicial review process based solely on the special interest of a handful of companies. Beyond what's in the bill, critics are angry about how it was passed, snuck into a huge agricultural bill without review by a committee.
This is Sparta!
Genetically engineered foods have deeply infiltrated the American food supply. Almost 90% of crops like corn, soybeans, canola, and sugar beets grown in the United States are now genetically modified. Genetic engineering promises increased crop yields, lower costs for farmers, and reduced use of herbicides. But are these goals really being achieved?
No, of course not.
Over 50 countries all over the world have now passed GMO labeling laws and GMO crop restrictions in order to ensure people's health. But Canada and the United States have yet to join the roster. It's time for you to stop Monsanto and other biochemical giants from dominating your country's food and farming system. It's time to reclaim your choice for truly healthy, sustainable, and naturally grown food sources. If you live in California or know people living in the state, the November 6th ballot is the first big step. Learn more about voting yes to Proposition 37 or the California Right to Know Genetically Engineered Food Act. Spread the word to your friends and loved ones. Talk to food store owners or make a donation. Your participation will spell the difference in the American food supply, today and in the future. Together with a broad coalition of farmers, science and health experts, and consumer organizations, Mercola.com urges you to vote for your right to know GMOs in the food that you eat.
ladies and gentlemen, this just in.
The protesters are taking a stand against genetically modified foods. They say companies like Monsanto are responsible for creating seeds that are dangerous to our environment.
Boy, that escalated quickly. I mean, that really got out of hand fast.
Over 2,000 people gathered in the Wayne Morse Free Speech Plaza and then marched against the use of genetically modified foods. Some say genetically modified plants are responsible for many health issues. Genetically modified plants are grown from seeds engineered to resist insecticides and add nutritional benefits. Organizers say most people don't know what GMOs are.
I want people to become aware of what they're eating. Over 80% of the corn in our United States is actually genetically modified organisms, and over 90% of the soy that we consume is also genetically modified organisms.
And protesters say it's not just impacting humans, but they say GMOs are the reason why bee populations are down.
As many as 2 million people in cities around the world held similar marches against Monsanto today. Many are hoping to get lawmakers to ban genetically modified foods.